All right, here we go. So we're playing some Ishizu Tearlaments, and this is a very skillful match. And I only really make one play, and then everything beyond that is just a chain reaction. Now, my opponent is going to do a lot, but I'm going to do a lot as well. So when I look at a board like this doesn't look like anything too intimidating, except for these cards because I don't know what they are. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what they'll lead to, right? Kaiser Coliseum. This card right here is very easy to beat. Um, Basically, if there's one or more monsters on the field, basically I can't exceed how many monsters my opponent has. So if they got one monster, I can only have one monster on the field, right? So all I need to do is trigger some kind of chain reaction, basically for my opponent to do something. I need them to activate something on their side of the field, so then that way triple tactics talent is live, so then that way I can take his Gemini monster, so then that way he has less than one monster on the field, making this card basically do absolutely nothing, right? So here we go. Activate Medora, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Now there's multiple reasons why I activate Medora right here. One, Medora can jump off the field at any time, shuffling cards back from my graveyard back into my deck, meaning that this card is not locked onto the field. It's not stuck on the field. I can jump this card off the field, so then that way I can put something stronger on the field for the Kaiser Coliseum lock, so then that way I'm not locked in. Plus, on top of that, it's a special summon, so I didn't use my normal summon to do this. Then, on top of that, it also allows me to set Gravekeeper's Trap face up on my side of the field. So there's a lot of things that are positive about using Medora plus the Kelbeck. So here we go. My opponent activates Call by the Grave, and this was the perfect starter. So all the people that sit there and say like this, like why are you playing Tearlaments? It's because the deck is very skillful. So if I had played anything else, basically Call by the Grave would have killed me, right? Let's say I started off with Keldo. My Gravekeeper's Trap would not be face up. I would have had it and added it to my hand. I would have had to set it then, and then basically nothing, right? So perfect start. Then I use the effect of my Medora to dodge his Call by the Grave. So his Call by the Grave does not resolve. Then I send more cards from my deck to my graveyard. Of course, I'm going to activate Merly, Chainlink 1, Agito, Chainlink 2, Scream, Chainlink 3, and then the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, Chainlink 4, and then Gravekeeper's Trap, Chainlink 5. So now I can add the Agito to my hand, and then I add the Tortoise plus the Field Spell. Now, this card, Triple Tactics Talent, is live, but this is literally a reaction to a reaction play, basically, because when I played Medora, he played he flipped over his Call by the Grave, right? Then I dodged his Call by the Grave with the Medora, with the same Medora. Then I milled 5 and like basically gained all this advantage right here, right? So my next strategy was to activate Triple Tactics Talent, take this, and then that way I can play around his Kaiser Coliseum. But there's chains on top of chains on top of chains that are activating. So basically, because chains are going into other chains or starting other chains, I'm just making plays based on what I'm getting. So I send the Tortoise back to go into Kikalos, and then I draw a card with Shadal Beast, and then activate Kikalos. He is going to activate Solemn Strike. This chain starts resolving, and what do you know? This will make another chain because he destroyed my Kikalos. So I'll mill another 5 cards, building a whole new chain. Still have not used my normal summon. Going into Rule Kolos, he is going to pop my Rule Kolos with his Dogmatic of Punishment. And of course, Rucolos is going to come back to the field. Now, this is super high level play, and I pretty much broke his entire board without him really doing anything to stop me. I made Kikalos, milled 5, made Rucolos, which is what I would have done anyways, got Gravekeeper's Trap face up on the field. I have a way to pop his Kaiser Coliseum. I have a way to take his Toon Gemini, and he only has one card in hand. So, am I afraid of that one card? Probably not. All I have to do now is just activate Triple Tactics Talent, take his Toon Gemini. Once I take his Toon Gemini, then literally his Kaiser Coliseum doesn't work. And if that doesn't work, all I have to do, if I can't take his Toon Gemini because of this, all I have to do, activate Field Spell, go into my graveyard. Well, I don't have one. But basically shuffle back something. So use a shuffler to basically rotate these back, or I could just attack into this shit. If I attack into this, like, regardless, I didn't even get a chance to see if it would let me take this with talent because of the Kaiser Coliseum, and that would make it to where I would have more monsters than him. So I don't know if it would even allow me to do it, but the options are still here, and all I would have to do really is just attack into this shit. He doesn't even have a Toon World on the field, so this card can be still, like, he has no kind of protection against this whatsoever, right? So, Tearlaments Celiac in my hand, so I would have set this, had a monster negate. Polarino can pop something. Triple Tactics Talent can take his Toon. Still got Keldo to basically pitch the Elgato to special summon this onto the field. Plus Merly, so a normal summon of Merly would mill 3 cards. I got 14 cards left in my deck, and basically plays for days. I mean, I can pretty much do whatever, but my opponent realizes that he's lost and just scoops it up. Very skillful deck. I don't understand why so many people like basically hate on me for playing this deck. Like, if I was a dumb player and I wasn't smart and I didn't know how to break his board, I would have lost this match. If you go watch any of my YouTube videos of me playing Tearlaments, like, basically I'm having to think. It's not like I'm going in there playing Floowandereeze and just bird braining that shit, just Robina into Eglin into Impin and then pass turn. It's not like that. Like, I'm actually having to think in these Tearlaments matches to break boards. Like, I have to know what play breaks what. How do I bait him out to use up his negates? How do I bait out this, that, whatever the case may be? Of course, yes, the match can get out of hand, and I think that's the power of a Shizu Tearlaments, is that you can build so much in a chain that your opponents can't really deal with it. Like, if I had added more effects into that chain, he wouldn't have been able to negate my Kikalos with that. Or if I had changed my chains around, he wouldn't have been able to stop my Kikalos with that Solemn Strike. Which I didn't care. I wanted him to do that anyways. I wanted him to activate his effects of his face down cards. Get those face down cards activated. Basically, it's less for me to have to worry about. So I wanted him to shotgun all of his effects, which is exactly what he did, and then I beat him. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, you're probably just going to be mad regardless of what I play. You're just mad at life just because it sucks for you. But for me, I'm having fun over here, playing whatever I want to play. Yeah. So GG's, my boys. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.